Good morning, traders. It's Peter Thompson, senior mentor of 1 billion Signal, sponsored by Merit Forex. The day has finally come. Federal Reserve interest rate decision tonight. I'm starting immediately with this because this is definitely the event of the week. I would say even the event for the month. So the US dollar is waiting to see what will happen with the interest rates. That's why you probably see right now the majors are a little bit sleeping. They are showing very low volatility, and all eyes on the Federal Reserve tonight. It's gonna be awesome. So let's take a look what we got until now. Monday, PMI, Composite Manufacturing and Services PMI in UK, it went red. CPI inflation report in Australia is going up from 3% to 3.5%. The yearly inflation report. It's pretty normal considering the inflation is running very high worldwide currently. Consumer confidence, US is showing higher consumer confidence, which is good for the economy, but still not a very strong indication of a very well performing economy. It's getting better, we would say, but it's far away from perfect. Wednesday today, so let's take a look. Interest rate decision for Canada, 3 p.m. GMT. Canadian dollar is gonna be in focus for sure. Crude oil inventories 30 minutes later. FOMC, Federal Reserve, FOMC's meeting, and of course Federal Reserve interest rate decision 7 p.m. GMT. The whole question is when they're starting interest rate hikes to start the interest rate lift. So this is something that's quite discussed this time these days. Something that many people believe that they will do it even 5 times. They're gonna increase interest rates even 5 times, which it's probably a little bit too much. But I'm gonna be surprised to see the Fed increasing the interest rates today. Most probably, they're going to give us like an indication that they're gonna do it on like March, April. They're gonna postpone it. Still, there is a little bit room to see what's gonna happen with the unemployment rate and with the inflation. So I think they're simply going to wait. So about Canada and US, this is the topic for today. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, important event for the labor market in the United States at 1:30 p.m. GMT, and this is how we're gonna finish the week. Let's take a look what's going on the charts. Euro US dollar in front of us. As you can see, the last 2-3 days, it's absolutely slow. Very low volatility, about 40, 50, 60 pips, still staying on the support level. Bounce back from here, pretty possible. It's going to be very interesting to see how the market is going to react before the Fed interest rates. But for now, this is it. Nothing much is happening. Everybody's waiting for the interest rates tonight. GBP USD. Yes, a decent recovery after such a big push with no recovery whatsoever. Not surprised. I've been expecting to see test of the support 1.3411, which it's not impossible whatsoever. I think it's we're gonna see the test of the support level, but that's why be very careful by taking buy trades on the GBP USD. But it's pretty soon we're gonna see test most probably, and then bounce back to the upside. I'm remaining bullish for the GBP at least until March, April, at least until the next Federal Reserve interest rate decision. Australian dollar. So as we already mentioned, inflation is going up from 3% to 3.5%. Still, the Australian dollar was not very volatile last day yesterday. 50 pips volatility. Nothing much is happening. Everything is sleeping, just waiting the Fed. But tested the support. Not surprised. 0.71 round number here around these levels. Bounce back from here is quite possible, so let's take a look. It's a matter of time. New Zealand to US on the other side, breaking out the support level, something that's very interesting because it's much weaker than the Australian, even though they're quite similar most of the time in terms of market behavior. But anyway, the New Zealand dollar closed below the support level 0.67, pretty fragile for now, so that's why I'm not touching the New Zealand dollar. We have inflation report, by the way, today, 9:45 GMT. So let's see, most probably we're gonna see the inflation going up as any other country worldwide. and just I would wait for the New Zealand also, because anyway we don't have good entry levels. USD Canadian bouncing from the resistance, going immediately to the crude oil, something that we've discussed many times. Price action similar to this one is absolutely possible. Yeah, of course it's not going to be exactly the same, but so we got a slight drop, push to the upside, another quick drop definitely for just a day, and recover the same levels immediately. Crude oil is following also the Federal Reserve interest rates, simply because there is we were trading crude oil against the US dollar, and at the same time the dollar is affected by the interest rate. So that's exactly why I think the crudes is waiting for the interest rate, and we're gonna see very high volatility on the crude oil as well. But on the other side, I've been expecting correction to the downside, testing 78.21, 70, 77 round number, even further down, quite possible. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take some time, couple of waves, and eventual drop to the downside. Let's see how the price is going to behave around these levels, because we are anyway staying around a very strong resistance level, $85 and big round number. So crude is definitely my focus. USD Canadian, the other side, CAD is right now is pushing up, simply pushing the USD Canadian going down. Test of the resistance of both resistance levels, resistance zone, the whole resistance zone, and closing a little bit above the 1.2623, something that to be honest with you, it's not a big difference. I'm not gonna consider that as a breakout of the resistance. Quite the opposite, false breakout. As you can see, this morning is pushing down. Don't forget, we got an interest rate decisions 3 p.m. for Canada, so it's gonna bring a lot of volatility on the Canadian dollar. But test of the next support, 1.246766 is my target. Even further down, 1.2366 quite possible. So, but definitely remaining bearish on the USD Canadian. So this correction was quite familiar with, especially on the chart of the USD Canadian, the recent couple of weeks. We got such a corrections here, so it's absolutely all right. USD Swiss on the other side, testing the resistance, big round number 0.92. So this is one big mess. I've mentioned that a million times. So right now I'm staying away from the USD Swiss, even though I love to trade it. Just waiting a little bit to see clear direction, and then I'm gonna take an action. But quite for those who would like to trade USD Swiss, absolutely possible to see the price pushing down, bouncing back from the resistance level in order to head directly to 0.91. So USD Swiss is interesting also. USD Japan. So this is something that's very interesting for the last couple of weeks, because the US dollar completely ignoring the market behavior, and I mentioned that a couple of times. So we've been hunting for short opportunities on the USD Japanese, something that we barely had, because if you take a look, it even started almost creating an uptrend. I'm gonna zoom out heavily to see. Usually Japanese yen is considered with such a big movement, so push to the upside is still very possible, and eventual drop. I'm remaining bearish. I'm still waiting for my short trade here on the USD Japanese, but obviously it hasn't come yet. And a little bit more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is following closely the US indices market behavior, indicating closest relationship ever. It's holding the lows of 37,000 after the big drop, erased almost 50% from the top. Guys, be very cautious, because Bitcoin is something super volatile, and on top of that, in my opinion, is definitely not very good opportunity for buying the dips. The most popular expression these days, especially on the social medias. Be very careful, because it can continue dipping, as we love to say. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed these videos. Of course, share us and like us on the social medias. This is how you support our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, of course, in order to get yourself updated with the new videos. Have a very profitable week, especially very profitable day considering the Fed interest rates tonight. And of course, expect my new video on Monday. Bye.